Assalamu alaikum, dear students. In the course of pharmaceutical technology, we are going to discuss another novel drug delivery system, which is called mucoadhesive drug delivery. Students, in the previous lectures, we have discussed about the osmotic drug delivery system. For today, this is another novel approach to deliver a drug to the biological system for improved efficacy of the drug. Students, mucoadhesive drug delivery system, before discussing it, we are going to define few basic terms which are required for the proper understanding of the topic. Students, bioadhesion may be defined as the state in which two materials, at least one of which is biological nature, are held together for extended periods by interfacial forces. So simply we can say that two material means two matter in which one must be of biological nature. When held together by interfacial forces, this phenomena is called bioadhesion. For drug delivery purpose, the term bioadhesion implies attachment of a drug carrier system to a specific biological location. And now, student, what is mucoadhesion? The biological surface can be epithelial tissue or mucus coat on the surface of a tissue. If adhesive attachment is to mucus coat, the phenomenon is called mucoadhesion. So there is a minor difference between these two terms. Bioadhesion is a broad term in which we can say that if the attachment of a drug carrier system is with the mucus layer of the epithelial tissue, then this phenomena is called mucoadhesion. Simply, it can be defined as a drug delivery system that utilize property of bioadhesion of certain water-soluble polymers that become adhesive on hydration and hence can be used for targeting a drug to a particular region of the body for extended periods. So students, you can see that this drug delivery system, the basic role in this drug delivery system is that of the polymers, which become adhesive, means they become sticky on hydration when they absorb water and hence can be used for targeting a drug to a particular region of the body for extended periods. So students, we can see that mucoadhesion drug delivery system utilize the property of bioadhesion. Bioadhesion simply means if one material is of biological nature and another substance may be synthetic, if they come in contact with one another, and if that contact is between the drug carrier system and the mucous membrane of the body or epithelial tissue, then this is called as mucoadhesion. So mucoadhesive drug delivery system in broad terms may be defined as mucoadhesive drug delivery system are those delivery systems which utilize the effect of bioadhesion of certain water-soluble polymer on which on hydration become adhesive. Thus can be used for targeting a drug or drug delivery system in particular region of the body for the extended period of time. Means through this drug delivery system, we can deliver drug to specific site of the body and for longer period of time, and not only for local targeting of the drug but also for better control of systemic drug delivery. So there are two benefits that not only we can control the location of the delivery of the drug, but we can also improve the phenomena of the release of the drug in a controlled manner for longer period of time. So you can see that it prolongs the residence time of the dosage form at the site of application or absorption. Means the residence time means the time through which or the time period for which the mucoadhesive drug delivery system will remain attached with the mucous membrane to facilitate the absorption. So facilitates an intimate contact of the dosage form with the underlying absorption surface and thus contributes to improved, or you can say better, therapeutic performance of the drug. In recent years, many such mucoadhesive drug delivery systems have been developed for oral, buccal, nasal, gastrointestinal, rectal, and vaginal routes for both systemic and local effects. These areas like oral, buccal, nasal, gastrointestinal, rectal, and vaginal routes, the epithelial tissue of these areas have a thick viscid layer of mucus, and the drug is designed to attach with that mucus layer, and this phenomena is called mucoadhesive drug delivery system. And what are the main benefits? That we can not only increase the residence time at the target site, but we can also control the delivery of drug for the longer period of time, so that it will facilitate the therapeutic effect, or you can say efficacy of the drug, and will also reduce the side effects. Bioadhesion Bioadhesion is an interfacial phenomena in which two material, at least one of which being of biological nature, are held together for extended period by means of interfacial forces. As we have discussed, the attachment could be between an artificial material and a biological substrate, such as adhesion between a polymer and a biological membrane. Adhesion can be defined as the bond produced by contact between a pressure sensitive adhesive and a surface. Adhesive means, students, those matter or materials which have the ability to attach with the biological surface. They are called as adhesive material, or which have stickiness in their nature. In biological system, four types of bioadhesion could be distinguished. These are addition of a normal cell on another normal cell. If one cell adhere with another cell, this is an example of, you can say, you can distinguish bioaddition. And number second is addition of a cell with a foreign substance. Number third, addition of normal cell to a pathological cell. And number four, addition of an adhesive to a biological substance. So these four types of additions can be distinguished. Now let's proceed further, students. For the purpose of drug delivery, the term bioaddition implies attachment of a drug carrier system to a specific biological location. So this, you can say that this is a targeting drug delivery, and the drug will be released in a controlled manner. The biological surface can be epithelial tissue. The phenomena is referred to as mucoadhesion if adhesive attachment is to a mucus core. Bioadhesion can be modeled or can be studied, that how bioadhesion occurs after a bacterial attachment to a tissue surface, and mucoadhesion can be modeled or studied after the adherence of mucus on epithelial tissue. So let's proceed further, students. Now the important thing is that the drug is designed for the attachment with the mucous membrane of the body, and mucous membrane is present in different areas of the body. We will discuss it later. For now, the mucosal layer lines a number of regions of the body, including the nose. Our nose also contains mucosal lining, means epithelial tissue is covered with mucus, gastrointestinal tract, urinogenital tract, airways, and ear and eye. So these are the areas which contains the mucosal layer. Mucosal layer means epithelial above the epithelial tissue there is a layer of mucus. So this is called mucosal layer. The mucoadhesive drug delivery system may include the following, because these are the systems of the body, and on this system their epithelial tissue contain a viscous layer of mucus. So in the approach of novel drug delivery system, mucoadhesive system use the property of these areas, and the presence of mucus layer on these areas, and novel drugs are designed to improve the therapeutic efficacy and to reduce the, and to, you can say, that improve the compatibility of the drug with the patient. So these are the areas which contain mucus layer, and drugs and mucoadhesive drug delivery system can be designed for all these areas. We will discuss it later one by one. Now, need of mucoadhesive drug delivery systems. Why we need mucoadhesive drug delivery system? First important is controlled release, means we predetermine the release of the drug, target and localized drug delivery system, and the main advantage is bypass the first pass metabolism, avoidance of drug degradation, and you can produce prolonged effect, high drug flux through the absorbing tissue because the system is attached at the epithelial layer or on above the mucous layer, which is in direct contact with the epithelial layer in a biological system. Reduction in fluctuation of steady state plasma level. So there is a, because in controlled drug delivery system, we know that the main advantage is that the drug is released in a controlled manner and there is always a maximum concentration of the drug in the plasma so that its effect is produced. Now students, what are the advantages of mucoadhesive drug delivery systems? Prolonged residence time at the site of drug action or absorption, means that if the drug is designed in mucoadhesive system, it will attach with the specific mucous membrane of the area and then it will release drug in a controlled manner for longer period of time. Localization of drug action of the delivery system at a given target site. So this is also a localized tissue. If we target a specific area of the body, then it is called localization of drug action of the delivery system. An increase in the drug concentration gradient due to intense contact of particle with the mucosa. A direct contact with the intestinal cells, that is first step before particle absorption. Ease of administration. Termination of therapy is easy except gastrointestinal, means you can stop the therapy at any time except gastrointestinal system. Permits localization of drug to oral cavity for prolonged period, can be administered to unconscious patient except gastrointestinal system. Offers an excellent route for the systemic delivery of drugs with high first pass metabolism, thereby offering a greater bioavailability. So this, it will if you escape the first pass metabolism, it will ultimately improve the bioavailability of the drug. Now students, a significant reduction, you can see that a significant a significant reduction in dose can be achieved, thereby reducing dose-related side effects. Drugs which are unstable in the acidic environment are destroyed by enzymatic or alkaline environment of the intestine, or intestine can be administered by this route. Examples are buccal, sublingual, and vaginal. So it will protect the drug from the alkaline environment. Drugs which show poor bioavailability where the oral route can be administered conveniently. It offers a passive system of drug absorption and does not require any activation, as mucoadhesive drug delivery system do not require any activation. The presence of saliva ensure relatively large amount of water for drug dissolution, unlike in case of rectal and transdermal route. Let's proceed further. Systemic absorption is rapid. This route provides an alternative for the administration of various hormones, narcotic, analgesics, steroids, enzymes, cardiovascular agents, etc. The buccal mucosa is highly perfused with blood vessel and offers greater permeability than the skin. Less dosing frequency, shorter treatment period, increased safety margin of high potency drugs due to better control of plasma levels, maximum utilization of drug, enabling reduction in total amount of the drug administered, improved patient convenience and compliance due to less frequent drug administration, reduction in fluctuation in steady state levels, and therefore better control of disease condition and reduced intensity of local or systemic side effects. Student, these all are the benefits of the mucoadhesive drug delivery system. In shortly, if we summarize that through mucosive drug delivery system, we can improve the bioavailability, we can reduce the side effect of the drug, we can terminate our treatment anytime except gastrointestinal system. So there will be less dosing frequency because mucoadhesive system can be designed to release a drug in a controlled manner. So you can also design drug that will be released from the mucoadhesive system for longer period of time. Reduce first pass Metabolism means drug is directly entered into the systemic circulation without passing liver, which can degrade the drug and that will ultimately reduce the bioavailability of the drug. So these are the benefits of the mucoadhesive drug delivery system. Now students, let's discuss that what is mucus layer, because the drug will be designed for the attachment with the mucous membrane. Student, mucus layer, the tissue layer responsible for the formation of adhesive interface is mucus. Mucus is a translucent and viscous secretion which forms a thin continuous gel-like blanket that is adherent to the mucosal epithelial surface. The mean thickness of this layer varies from about 50 to 450 micrometer in humans. It is secreted by the goblet cells lining the epithelia or by special exocrine glands with mucus cells acini. So this is the short description of mucus layer, that mucus layer is actually a liquid which is translucent and viscous secretions of the epithelial tissues, and in epithelial tissues, especially the goblet cells lining of the epithelia secretes this mucus which is translucent and viscous secretions. Now students, what are the functions of the mucus layer? Mucus layer is protective in nature, resulting particularly from its hydrophobicity and protecting the mucosa from the diffusion of hydrochloric acid from the lumen to the epithelial surface. So as you know that the condition of stomach is very acidic, and this is the mucus layer which protect our stomach from the acidic action of the hydrochloric acid. Next important function, it acts as a barrier. The role of mucus layer as a barrier in tissue absorption of drug and other substances is well known, as it influences the bioavailability of the drugs. Next, adhesion. Mucus has strong cohesional properties and firmly binds to the epithelial cell surface as a continuous gel layer. Adhesion is, that is the mucous membrane. The mucus is bind with the epithelial cell surface as a continuous gel layer because it is a viscous translucent secretion. Next important function of mucus layer is lubrication. An important role of the mucus layer is to keep the mucosal membrane moist. Continuous secretion of mucus from the goblet cells is necessary to compensate for the removal of mucus layer due to digestion, bacterial degradation, and solubilization of mucin molecules. So broadly, you can say that the mucous membrane serves as a protective, as a barrier. Adhesion means the mucus is attached with the epithelial and it also acts as a lubrication or lubricant. Now, what is the composition of the mucous membrane, students? Water, 95% mucus contain 95% water. Glycoprotein and lipids are 0.5 to 5%. Mineral salts, 0.5 to 1%. Free protein, 0.5 to 1%. This is the composition of the mucous membrane. These are the liquid secretion, but they behave as a viscous gel-like blanket that covers the epithelial tissue of the body. This is the schematic representation of the mucus. As you can see that these are the oligosaccharide, the branching are oligosaccharide, and this is the core structure of the mucus. Here you can also see another diagram, a glycoprotein, a schematic representation of mucus. These are the glycosylated portion. This is the core protein, and this is a disulfide linkages. So mucus, because mucus contain protein, lipids. Now characteristics of the mucus layer related to mucoadhesion. These are the four characteristics important for the Mucoidation. Mucus is a network of linear, flexible, and random coil macromolecules. So mucus is a network of linear, flexible, and random coil macromolecules. Macro means large molecules. Mucin is negatively charged due to salicylic acid and sulfate residue. Mucus is a cross-linked network connected by disulfide bonds between mucin molecules. So you can see here in the diagram that there are disulfide linkages between the mucin molecules. This is the core protein and these are the glycosylated portion of the core protein. These four characteristics of the mucous membrane are related to mucoadhesion. What are these four characteristics? Mucus. What is mucus? It is a network of linear, flexible, and random coil macromolecules. Mucin is negatively charged due to salicylic acid and sulfate residue. Mucus is a cross-linked network connected by disulfide bonds between mucin molecules. Mucin is abundantly or you can say heavily hydrated, means it contains water. As you can see from the composition that there are 95% water in the mucus. Now students, let's proceed towards the mechanism and theories of mucoadhesion. The mechanistic process involved in mucoadhesion between hydrogels and mucosa can be described in three steps. By hydrogel, we mean those polymers which on absorption of water become swell and attached with the mucous membrane. Number first step is wetting and swelling of the polymer to allow for intimate contact with the biological tissue. Next is what will be the next step in mucoadhesion? The first step is the wetting and swelling of the polymer. Wetting means that it have water on its surface. This is called wetting, and swelling means the size will increase of the polymer. So because of these two properties, it, these two properties will allow the intimate contact with the biological tissue. Wetting and swelling, these are important properties for mucoadhesion. Then the next step is the interpenetration of the bioadhesive polymer chain and entanglement of polymer and mucin chains. And third, formation of weak chemical bonds between entangled chains. So this is the mechanism of mucoadhesion: wetting and swelling, then interpenetration, and then formation of weak chemical bond between entangled chains. Schematically, you can see that this is the dosage form when normal in size. After hydration and wetting, after getting water in the medium, its size increase, it swelled. Now step 1, explanation of the step 1. In this step, students, when the polymer spreads over the surface of biological substrate or mucosal membrane, the wetting and swelling step occurs in order to develop an intimate contact with the substrate. By the help of the surface tension and forces that exist at the site of adsorption or contact, bioadhesions are able to adhere to or bond with the biological tissue. Swelling of polymers occur because the components within the polymer have an affinity for water. So this is the description of the first step. Now in the second step, you can see that interdiffusion and penetration. This is a bioadhesive polymer and this is the mucous membrane. After wetting and swelling, it will it will make a bond with the mucous membrane. So here in the last figure, you can see that a bond is formed between the mucous layer and the bioadhesive polymer. So this is the interdiffusion and interpenetration. Now explanation of the step 2. The surface of mucosal membrane are composed of high molecular weight polymer known as glycoprotein. In this step, interdiffusion and interpenetration take place between the chains of the mucoadhesive polymer and the mucus gel network, creating a great area of contact. The strength of this bond depends on the degree of penetration between the two polymer groups. A glycoprotein which is present at the surface of the mucus and a polymer which is introduced into the body. In order to form strong adhesive bonds, one polymer group must be soluble in other and both polymer types must be of similar chemical nature. As we know that in our basic classes, that if there is no affinity for the reaction, then the reaction will not take place. In the last step, you can see here, this is the penetration of the bioadhesive polymer with the mucous membrane. And now in the third step, you can see from the diagram that interpenetration between polymer and mucus, entanglement of polymer and mucus. In this step, this is interpenetration, and then entanglement means both the chain of the molecules coiled with one another. The description of this you can see here in step 3. In this step, entanglement and formation of weak chemical bonds as well as secondary bonds between the polymer chain and mucus molecules takes place. The, the types of bonding formed between the chains include primary bonds such as covalent bonds and weaker secondary interactions such as van der Waals interaction and hydrogen bonds. Both primary and secondary bonds are exploited in the manufacture of bioadhesive formulation in which strong adhesion between polymers are formed. So students, this is the journal, these three are the journal steps which are involved in the phenomena of mucoadhesion. And now here you can see that from these 3 points, that wetting and swelling, then interpenetration, and then formation of weak chemical bond between the entangled chains. So this is the mechanism for the mucoadhesive drug delivery system: wetting and swelling, and then after wetting and swelling, then interdiffusion and interpenetration of the polymer and mucus, and in step 3, weaker chemical bond or chemical bond or entanglement of the polymer with mucous membrane occurs. Now students, what are the theories of mucoadhesion? There are different theories which explain the phenomena of mucoadhesion. The first theory is electronic theory. According to this theory, adhesion occurs by means of electron transfer between the mucus and the mucoadhesive system, arise through differences in their electronic structures. The electron transfer between the mucus and the mucoadhesive results in the formation of a double layer of electrical charges at the mucus and mucoadhesive interface. The net result of such a process is the formation of attractive forces within this double layer. So students, this is simple. You can summarize it that by electronic theory, we means that there is a uh, electron transfer between the mucus and the polymer which is introduced in the body, and due to this transfer of electron, two layers developed at the interface, and then those two layers further facilitate the attachment of the polymer with the mucus layer of the body. So the electric double layer phenomena, maybe you have studied this phenomena in your previous classes in pharmaceutical dosage form in in the under the course of physical pharmacy. Students, electronic theory, simply we can say that if the addition occurs because of the transfer of electron between the two surfaces, then this type of mucoadhesion, the theory is called the electronic theory. Next theory is, student, the adsorption theory. Adsorption theory. According to adsorption theory, the material adhere after an initial contact between the two surfaces because of surface forces acting between the atoms into surfaces. Students, adsorption phenomena, it is a phenomena in which one substance is adsorbed at another surface, and this is an exothermic phenomena. Because of this, energy is released. So according to adsorption theory, material adheres after an initial contact between two surfaces because of surface forces. Adsorption is because of the surface forces acting. Where are these forces acting, students? These forces are acting between the atoms of the two surfaces. Two types of chemical bonding results from these forces. These forces are the forces which are present in a system because of the atoms in the system. And then when these two systems come towards one another, adsorption phenomena takes place. So there are two types of bonds which are formed in the adsorption theory. Number one is primary bonding. It occurs mainly due to chemisorption, result in addition due to ionic, covalent and metallic bonding. Chemisorption means the bond which is formed due to the transfer of electron. Covalent bond may occur and metallic bonding, which is generally undesirable due to their permanency. The bond which is formed by the transfer of electron, that may be ionic or by sharing of electron, covalent, or because of the metallic nature of metallic bond, which is generally undesirable. These types of bonding are, students, undesirable because they are permanent, and do not require permanent bonding. Secondary bonding, it mainly arises due to van der Waals interaction, hydrogen bonds, electrostatic attraction, hydrophobic interactions. These interactions require less energy to break, and they are the most prominent form of surface interaction in mucoadhesive process, as they have the advantage of being semi-permanent bonds. So students, we require secondary bonding, and secondary bonding are weak bonding which are due to van der Waals interaction, hydrogen bonding, electrostatic interaction, hydrophobic interaction. These interactions require less energy to break. They are the most prominent form of surface interaction in mucoadhesion processes, as they have the advantages of being semi-permanent bonds. So students, in first theory, we have discussed that electronic theory, that there is a transfer of electron between the mucus and the polymer. In the adsorption theory, we can see that there are two types of bond possible: primary bonding and secondary bonding. Primary is a type of permanent bonding which is usually not required in mucoadhesive system, while secondary bonding are weak bonded, they are semi-permanent and they can easily be break. So students, if mathematically we can represent it, that adsorption is a exothermic process. You can see here in equation number 1 that delta GAD is equal to delta HAD minus T delta SAD, where delta HAD and delta SAD are the enthalpy and entropy changes of the system respectively. This is the enthalpy change of the system and this is the entropy of the system. So enthalpy and entropy, you must know that enthalpy, what is enthalpy and what is entropy. Enthalpy means total energy of the system, and entropy means that how the system behave further, the disorderness of the system will increase with the passage of time. So this is the, students, we have up till now we have discussed two theories, what is which, in which one is electronic theory and the other is adsorption theory. And in absorption theory we have seen an equation which shows that free energy, the free energy of the adsorption is given by, this is the free energy which is also called Gibbs free energy, is equal to delta HAD, means enthalpy of the system, minus absolute temperature, and SAD are the enthalpy and entropy changes. Student, HAD is enthalpy and delta SAD is entropy of the system. And because adsorption is a spontaneous phenomena, it occurs by itself without the expenditure of any energy, and it is an exothermic process. It will release energy. Student, next theory is wettability theory, and we will discuss it in our next lecture. Students, in this course up till now we are discussing the first chapter under the heading of uh, novel drug delivery system for GIT. So by novel drug delivery system, as we have explained earlier, that by novel drug delivery system we mean that we are going to find out the new routes so that the drugs can be delivered, and with with a difference of benefits as compared to that of the conventional drug delivery system. So up till now we have discussed that what is mucoadhesion, then what is bioadhesion and mucoadhesion. What is the difference? Mucoadhesion is, you can say that, a subdivision of bioadhesion, bioadhesive drug delivery system that is designed to deliver drug to the specific target tissue which is covered by epithelial layer, and on the surface of epithelial layer mucous membrane is present. And now we have after that we have discussed that adhesion may be distinguished in four different types. And after this we can see that here that these are the system for which you can design the mucoadhesive drug delivery system, but we will discuss all these system in the upcoming lectures. Now what are the needs of mucoadhesive system, then advantages of mucoadhesive system, and in the last we studied that what is mucus layer, from where mucus is secreted. It is secreted from goblet cells lining in the epithelia. Then function of mucus layer: it is protective, it is barrier, adhesion and lubrication. And then we studied what are the composition, and after composition theories of mucoadhesion. In theories we have discussed up till now two theories. Number one is electronic theory and number two is adsorption theory. Next, in the next lecture, inshallah, we will discuss the compatibility theory. Hope student everything is clear up till now. Thank you very much.